Hello everyone. Let's learn observation method today. So when you're doing research, you will be faced with a lot of questions, right? Whenever you present something, whenever you learn something, a lot of questions come to your mind, and also people will ask you different kind of questions. Even if the person is not aware of your topic, even if they don't know nothing about your idea, but they will ask questions. And also, while presenting your topic, your idea, your progress before your supervisor or your RSC members, they will also ask numerous questions, right? So, for every question, there is a structure. If you closely observe, we can understand that the questions are mostly what, why, and how. So whenever you present something, just notice the questions will be like what, why, and how. So observation method. So observation is the key to understanding. It opens the door to knowledge and wisdom. So it's a quote which gives a clear understanding about observation. So what you observe and why you observe and what is a method. So observation method, when I told you I should give you an idea about method and methodology if you are not familiar with that. So if you're familiar with that, you can skip this part. Okay. So methods. Methods means some specific techniques or procedures that researchers use to gather data, conduct experiments, or carry out investigations. So it's a specific technique or the procedures that you adopt to gather data, conduct experiments, or carry out investigations. This may include qualitative methods such as interviews, surveys, or observations. That is what we are going to learn today, as well as quantitative methods such as experiments, statistical analysis, or modeling. To make it simple, I'll give you one idea, that is qualitative and quantitative. So when you are doing research, people will definitely going to ask you, is your study qualitative or quantitative? Or are you using a mixed methodology by adopting qualitative and quantitative? So qualitative method say includes interviews, surveys, or observations. This doesn't involve numerical calculations and all. So mostly from interviews, when you gather data through interviews, you can understand the person will give you their experience through words. And if you conduct a survey, there will be a particular answer or finding for it. But when you do an experiment or statistical analysis or modeling, the way of receiving the information and processing the information and the output will be different. It's more of a logical kind of thing. So methods are essentially the tools or instruments used to answer research questions or achieve research objective. So here I'll give you one more idea, that is the research questions and research objectives are connected. So while framing this one also, you must be really careful. Then only you can actually plan your method and methodology. So then comes the methodology. Methodology refers to the framework or theoretical perspective which is guiding the research process. Hmm? So why you selected this method? It is connected with the methodology. So what all theories are involved in your study? What is the base of your study? That is connected with the methodology thing. The principles, the concepts, assumptions, all this comes under methodology. That influences your study, how you collect your data, how you analyze your data, and how you frame the conclusion also. So it also involves the sampling strategies. So in another video, we will give idea about sample and what is sample size and how to choose your sample, etc. And data analysis techniques, interpretation of findings. All this come under methodology. So method means some specific techniques used in your research. Methodology encompasses the broader theoretical framework and approach guiding the research process. So methodology provides a context and then the application is methods. So you got an idea, right? So next one is benefits of observation method. So I'll give you an idea about observation method. That is, you're observing the sample or what is happening to the people selected or the place. Maybe the research is related to a school, for example. So you must observe the teaching process, how it works if your study is connected with the teaching methods. So benefits of observation method. So first one, observation aims to describe and document behaviors, interactions as naturally occur in real world settings. So you will get the, for me, I thought observation will be just like we are observing someone, but I understood that it will give you a clear cut idea about the behaviors, interactions, and what is happening there. By closely observing and recording these elements, researchers can gain a comprehensive understanding of the observed context without imposing artificial constraints. So even if you gather data from a book or an online source or any other means, you won't get this kind of data because you are directly going to the spot and you're directly observing and collecting data. Then comes exploratory. Another thing is exploratory research. Some researchers they will be exploring new topics to generate hypotheses and to uncover the patterns or relationships which are not previously identified, and they are trying to do something new. So then they must go through a systematic observation. Then that will definitely give them new insights and new ideas to actually plan the next investigation, the further investigation. So it will be a groundwork process, the observation method. So then next one is behavioral analysis. So observation method helps you to analyze and interpret human behavior, including verbal and non-verbal communication, gestures, body language, social interactions. By observing behaviors in their natural context, researchers can gain insights into underlying motivations, attitudes, and cognitive process. So we'll get an idea about all this stuff. We can directly observe the verbal and non-verbal communication, gestures, body language, etc. Then validation of hypothesis, to test the hypothesis and theories generated from other research methods or existing literature. Maybe we found everything by analyzing the existing literature. So this is the validation of hypothesis. That is another benefit. Then intervention, planning, and evaluation. So for me, I think this was the most helpful thing for my study. That is observation is because while observing, I was able to plan my intervention. What are things I should do to do the next idea, because mine was connected with teaching methodology. So while observing the people, I understood what is the current scenario, what is the current situation, and how I can plan the next step. If I'm going to introduce a new teaching methodology or a new thing, so how I should plan, what is the problem here, so what are things to be incorporated to have an impact. So all these things I got from this observation study. And another question that most of the researchers ask is how long you must conduct this study. So classroom, if it's a classroom observation, it might require several hours to observe the teaching practices. And there is no fixed number of hours. It depends on the idea that you crafted in your study. And observation studies in psychology or sociology, it may involve extended periods because we need to observe the behavioral patterns and social dynamics. So it may take long hours. Then ethnographic research. So if your study is connected with the community or culture, the observation may span, like it may span to weeks, months, or even years, like a longitudinal study. So next one is for which all subjects we need, or we can conduct observation studies for psychology, education, sociology, anthropology, ethnography, environmental science, medicine, and healthcare. For all these subjects, we can definitely actually start with